Karin Weary-Kalla, licensed marriage and family therapist of Insights Counseling Center. I'm here today to present the fourth part of a four-part series that I'm doing on EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and work performance enhancement. So today's the last part where I'm talking about the mindset of excellence and how I use EMDR to help people with work performance enhancement. I found the Wheel of Excellence in Terry Orlick's book, In Pursuit of Excellence. He's a sports psychologist who interviewed hundreds of Olympic medal athletes and other performers to find out what types of traits do these people have in common that really help them pursue and attain high-level goals. And what he found was that there were 7 things these people have in common. 1, they're focused. Number 2, they're committed. They recommit every single day. They're mentally ready. They use positive imagery. We know how extremely powerful positive imagery is. They're confident they can reach their goals. They use effective distraction control and ongoing learning. It is very difficult to focus when you keep questioning yourself and keep having self-doubts about whether or not you're capable of doing even sometimes very simple things. And when you can't focus, you can't commit, you're not mentally ready, you lack confidence, and you're easily distracted. I'm going to use a specific example of an individual who came to see me to show how I use EMDR to help people in their work performance enhancement. She came to see me because she was getting ready to take a GRE, which is the entrance exam into graduate school. And she had a high level of anxiety with regards to taking the test in general, but there was specifically the math part that was really disturbing her because she told me that she had a long history of negative math experiences and math teachers and whatnot. In addition to that, she also had a number of people in her life who were causing a lot of drama. And so in this case, because we met on a Thursday and her test was on Saturday, I used the brief intervention focusing protocol. And that is something that we use if we either have very little bit of time to work together, so we don't have time to go back and clear out all the past stuff. Or if we need to quickly restore confidence in an individual. So this is how the protocol works. In this particular situation, I looked at, okay, so this long history of negative math experiences. Is there anything that we can do about that between today and Saturday? No, nothing whatsoever. So I used bilateral stimulation to install and build new memory networks that connected these two adaptive pieces of information together, hence why we also call EMDR an adaptive information processing system. Then we looked at, okay, these people that are causing all this drama, is there anything we can do about them between today and Saturday? Nope, not whatsoever. She was quite confident about that. So we can use bilateral stimulation to wire together this new information, because we know that cells that fire together wire together. So we're, again, rebuilding a new network of adaptive memory systems. Then what I wanted to do and did was to help her with being able to refocus herself when she would find herself drifting off. And in that, we use just a simple word that will help be her, kind of like her code word that, oh, it's time to refocus. So it could be something like focus, relax, breathe. Those are all 3 very good examples of a refocusing word. Simple and work perfectly. So she told me that that her anxiety level had decreased considerably. So when she took the test, she was also relaxed, just had a very low level of anxiety, which is normal in that situation. And she very effectively used her focusing trigger word, which helped her get back on track every time she found herself drifting off. And the funny part was, and of course, being calm and focused, you're better able to think, and your mind isn't clouded by all these other, the anxiety and the negative self-doubts and whatnot. And she didn't have to use any positive self-talk in order to achieve this. Just a focusing word, and that got her back on track. So the funny part was that after she got the scores of her test, that she had actually scored higher on her math than the other three parts, which is usually the other three parts are her strength. So she came then back to me later, because now she was in graduate school and she had to do presentations, which had always been her huge terrifying event for her, which she always avoided. There was no way she could avoid it now. So we did an EMDR session, went through that protocol, and she was able to have a successful presentation. Her anxiety was way down. It was to where it at an adaptive level where we all have a little bit of anxiety. Even people who feel very relaxed about presentations usually have a little bit of anxiety going in, and that's helpful. She was able to look people in the audience in the eyes, and she was able to get through and have a good presentation. Maybe a couple weeks later, she had another presentation and was starting to have some anxiety building up again. And what was happening in her life was that these people that were causing the drama before, they were still in her life, and there have been some new events that had occurred that was really triggering this. And it is very common that just resolving one memory is not necessarily enough. Sometimes we have to resolve 2, maybe 3 events before the networks have been cleaned out enough to where it doesn't bother you anymore. So we did another session, and she had told me that she'd had a fabulous presentation this time. She was able to really elaborate on her part of the presentation. She encouraged questions, which she'd never done before, and the whole thing had sparked a 35-minute debate afterwards, which had been a really positive experience for her. So, who are candidates for work performance enhancement? There would be business people and entrepreneurs. Oftentimes we have to do presentations and other types of things as business people, students with test anxiety, performers who might have stage fright, and athletes who may want to attain certain goals, or maybe they're coming back from an injury and are fearful of re-injury, and any of these 3 categories who may have had recent setbacks would be examples of people who would benefit from work performance enhancement. But as you could see with the example that I used, what I was able to help this person out with using EMDR was this individual was able to refocus. She was able to stick with her commitment because she was able to refocus. She was much more mentally ready to go out and do the work she needed to do. We used positive imagery and really enhanced the positive imagery with EMDR. She gained confidence, a great amount of confidence after the work that we had done together. And she was also able to use distraction control by using her focus word. And that is essentially how EMDR works in work performance enhancements. So thank you for following this 4-part series.